Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Randy with the One Jets Pod, and I'm joined with my co-host today here, Brandon and Dominic. Brandon, brother, how are you?
I'm good. I'm ready to talk some football, some Jets. Let's go.
Dominic, man, my brother, how are you?
Doing well. Hey, both our teams winning for the first time in the same week. That's going to make this podcast extra juicy and extra excited. There's a lot to talk about with both our squads.
Juicy.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad at least the one thing you didn't say you're doing well on is that you beat me again this week in the picks.
I was going to save that for a little later. It's like extra cherry on top.
We warned you, Randy, that we was coming for you.
I know. So currently, all right. Brandon and Dominic went 9-5 this week. Brandon takes home the cake this week again, back-to-back weeks, based on the tiebreaker. Dominic has failed to win a week this year, I believe.
I can't.
It's honestly, coming, Dom. It's coming.
It's coming, but the tiebreakers. If I have to lose on a tiebreak, I'll tip my cap. I just can't predict that. I can't. What are you gonna do? Come on, there's too much things to predict in this world. NFL scores. Clear. We can do wins. We can do wins and losses, just not predicting scores.
No, but congratulations to you guys. Win for both of you, really. But congratulations to Brandon on a back-to-back week win.
Thank you.
The good thing is I don't lose my first place status. So
for now.
yeah. I'm feeling the heat right now, dude. I'm 48-30. You got Dominic behind me at 47-31, and then Brandon at 46-32. So it's a 2-game race right now. I mean, this week is going to be interesting. So when we get to those picks later on in the show, I'm curious to see what you guys got.
It'll be a different week. It'll be a different week.
Oh, it better be. That last week was so.
Dude,
what'd you call it?
Some of these games, I was like, really?
Oh my god!
Come on.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the NFL. That's the NFL for you.
Bengals, whatever.
Buffalo. What?
Man, listen.
I mean, I'm happy they lost, but damn.
I told y'all I felt some type of way about that game.
Yeah,
I wanted to pick the Jags so bad, and I just
because you knew if we picked the Jags, the opposite would have happened.
Absolutely.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yep.
I'm just glad. I'm glad. Last week, mid-show or mid-conversation, I went from the Patriots to the Saints. I switched that pick real quick.
You're welcome for that.
We'd be tied for first, at least you and I, Randy, if that was dang. Okay, we can't. No more help. That was your one bingo freebie. It's done.
What else? Who else let me down? Washington let me down on Thursday. Well, they let us all down.
Yep.
Commanders.
I really thought Houston was gonna win, man. They almost did.
Baltimore was
the one time we picked Houston to win, they lose.
Yeah.
Oh, and Baltimore, who'd they play? The
Pittsburgh.
Steelers. Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah,
you deserve to lose when you drop 4 wide open passes.
Yeah.
You deserve to lose.
Yep. And of course, the Cardinals let me down, jackasses. So whatever.
I don't know why you picked them in the first place.
Well, come on. It was the Bengals. It's not like the Bengals. I told you last week I was done with the Bengals. I still might be done with the Bengals.
What was my one reason why I picked the Bengals? Because Jamar Chase said I'm always open.
That's right.
And it just like the Jags in the time zone. We should have the small details. We should have paid attention to.
Yeah. And that boy went off.
That single-handedly lost a game in one of my fantasy leagues. Somebody else had Jamar Chase. 52.2 points, and Devontae Adams throws up an 8.5.
52?
Jamar Chase was...
No, but even... I do you one better. I lost to somebody who had DJ Moore and Justin Fields.
Oh! That's a weaker
What was that combined score?
150? 120. I was like, all right, well...
Yeah, at least when you lose in fantasy, if you lose on a week like that,
it's like, what do you do?
Yeah. And I looked at my bench and I was like, could I have swapped? Nope, still gonna lose. Okay, I'll take the loss.
I'm in the same league as him, Brandon. This motherfucker averages 200 points a week.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's our fun, sexy 4-person.
It's just a 4-person league, just a bullshit league, but it's fun.
Oh yeah, I got a league like that with my buddies too. Yeah, I got a league like that with just 4 of us.
It's like Josh Allen, Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek,
Stephon
Diggs. Yeah.
Teams are stacked.
Don't you and I? Isn't it you and I that have a bunch of people on bye weeks next week?
No, for me, I think it's
uh,
week 7 or 9. It's an
Oh,
odd
okay.
number. I think it's week 7. We're almost there.
Oh man. So while we're on the topic of these picks, I'm gonna give Dominic the floor a little early because I want him to be able to gloat. Because as somebody who doesn't really care for the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, I don't really hate them. I just really don't care for them because their fans just are irritating. So I want Dominic, and if you want to rub their noses in it, dude, please do. Please do. So Dominic, the floor is yours. Talk some 49er Dallas Cowboy baseball because holy shit.
You know, it's one of those games that it's just as sweet as you thought it was going to be. And I held my expectations relatively fair game because I didn't want to say, oh, we're going to cream the Cowboys and then some miracle of God happens and Dallas wins. I don't want to overshoot my team. I never want to be cocky like that. But holy crap, like 42-10, Dak Prescott is who we thought he is. Brock Purdy is who we think he is.
Oh, yeah.
And everything that could go wrong for Dallas went wrong. They were lucky to get that touchdown to Turpin in the back of the end zone on just a good throw. Defense didn't play a little right, but that was the only mistake in that game. From the first play of the game, McCaffrey has a 3-yard run and gets his neck twisted around with a face mask. From that point, first play, we got this. Dallas is undisciplined, unprepared. All their talk all week long, especially from good old Jerry Jones, we're just as good as them. We're just as strong as them, coaching-wise, quarterback-wise, defensive-wise. Where was Micah Parsons? Nowhere to be found. They've had injuries on their defense. Van Der Esch, horrible neck injury. Hope, I don't wish injury upon anybody, but the game was already out of hand. Right. And why was Dak Prescott playing halfway through the third quarter when it was 35-10? Put Cooper Rush in and see what you get. Rest your guys so you're not getting hurt. Van Der Esch did not need to get hurt if you're a Cowboys fan when you're down 25 with a quarter to go. Yeah, that's uncalled for. Yeah. But getting off the Cowboys being virtually irrelevant in this game, we talked about it last week with Brock Purdy. We hate the term system quarterback.
Absolutely.
And once again, he proves everybody why he is who Brock Purdy is. The stud. He will take that. He will take that Mr. Irrelevant name and trademark it because he is a stud.
Yeah. He made some nice. I mean, some of the over the defender throws. I mean, I was like, this guy is. I mean, he's showing off.
Oh yeah,
he's showing out in front of company. That's what he's doing. I was like, man, this guy is just. I mean,
he's a phenomenal quarterback.
No game is too big for him.
No,
he is one of those players where last year when you compared him to Jimmy Garoppolo, they're very similar in certain ways. They're not big runners. They're pocket passers. And I'll preface this by saying this. This 49ers offense is incredibly difficult to scheme and retain. That's why Trey Lance could not hack it. No pun intended in Nathaniel Hackett right there. See that little, we're going to be talking about hacking in a minute.
That was nice.
He could hack it against the Broncos. But Trey Lance couldn't do it. Brock Purdy could. And I think really Brock Purdy had 4 years of experience in Iowa State.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trey Lance had 1 full year at North Dakota State and then went to the NFL. Yep. That's a big difference.
Big difference.
It's like minor league baseball to major league baseball.
Oh, yeah.
It's a different transition. So the difference between Brock Purdy and Jimmy Garoppolo for the Niner fans out there and just for football fans, because we're seeing what Jimmy G's doing in almost at Oakland, Vegas right now, leading the league in interceptions. Yep. He does all the same thing Purdy does the check downs, does the safe throws, but it's when he goes to the deep throws, that's where his inconsistency lies. He would prefer to do the check down throws and let the receivers and the talented wide receivers, tight ends do their job instead of putting them in better positions to accentuate that job. So it's just that extra layer of the onion that Brock Purdy brings to the table. Yep. And I really think, and this is not homerism here, this is on the numbers. His numbers are better than Mahomes. His numbers are better than Josh Allen. His numbers are better, if not very close to Tua Tagovailoa right now. There needs to be a serious conversation for Brock Purdy being in the MVP or
absolutely
best quarterback.
Absolutely.
And right now, truthfully, top 3 MVP candidates to this day right now, Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, and you could probably throw a third seed. It's still early. I don't think there's been one person that's lit it up consistently through the first 5 weeks of the year. Like Tyreek Hill's had 3 weeks out of 5 being superb. Josh Allen had a clunker against the Jets. He was good against Jacksonville's defense, let him down.
Right.
But no one has been as consistent as Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey.
I agree.
Anybody who says otherwise, and here's the funny thing, as I keep
didn't Allen throw 2 picks, I guess, in the Jags game too?
He threw 2 picks. And I know this sounds
3.
like rambling.
3.
No, 3. Yeah,
It was
3.
3.
Yeah.
And I know this sounds like rambling for the Niners, but guess what? All this talk is just the freaking offense I'm talking about. I haven't even begun to talk about the defense, and I'm going to shorten it up like this because I know the Jets fans, we want to get to the Jets. There's so many talented players. In recent weeks, it was Joey Bosa. Nick Bosa was talented. Ufunga was the player of the game, and Eric Armstead and Drake Jackson. This week against Dallas, everybody needs to start learning the name Fred Warner. He brings up the same similarities as Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis, who were all-pro Hall of Fame candidates for the San Francisco 49ers. He defends passes. He has constant tackles for loss. His IQ in this game on the interception against one of Dak Prescott's 3 interceptions, his back was turned to the whole play, and he anticipates everything that's going to happen, which tells me Dak Prescott is predictable. No shock there. Learn Fred Warner's name. This guy is the most elite linebacker in the game of football. I think personally, he is the best defender in football. Up front, if you're just looking at D linemen and middle linebackers, not secondary, just those 2 positions, I think Fred Warner is even more dominant than Aaron and Donald of the Rams, who they say is the most dominant defensive lineman in football. I think Fred Warner and this entire Niner team is even more dominant than the next best player.
Talk your talk. I hear you.
There's nothing for the 49ers that says an area at this moment right now, because we're staying healthy, knock on wood. Health is always something on the Niners side or against them at times. I know we're going to get to picks, but at the Browns and at the Vikings over the next 2 weeks. Browns probably not going to have Deshaun Watson, Jefferson on the IR for the next 4 weeks.
Yep.
The Niners after that return home to take on Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. And if Cincinnati's rolling,
8-0.
that could be a battle-tested game. I thought Dallas was going to be our first battle test of the year. It did not happen. And I'm glad at the end of the day, it's a storied rivalry. Emmitt Smith, Jerry Rice, the whole pageantry of Cowboys-Niners. And once again, Niners.
Dude, if the Cowboys were the test.
On our schedule, the 4 tests I had for the Niners.
Eagles
Cowboys,
too. You got the Eagles.
Yeah, Niners,
Okay.
Bengals. Jacksonville, if they're getting hot, could be a test after the bye week. But we have a 3-week stretch at the end of November, beginning of December.
Compared to the 49ers, nah. The Eagles are probably only I didn't know.
I'll tell you this.
That's the only test left.
They have at Seattle Thanksgiving night, following week at the Eagles, return home to take on Seattle. That's a 3 consecutive week. That's the toughest stretch of games.
I mean,
but
it is
because
a
Seattle's
game, so.
Divisional, yeah. But the Eagles, I still feel, will be the revenge of the NFC title game. Everybody's going to build it up. And Brock Purdy, as we did in the cold open, I'm just going to do my business. Blue-collar work style.
You know what?
Yeah, this was supposed to be Jets-Niners Super Bowl. This was the year it was supposed to be Jets-Niners.
Hey, well, it still could
Super
be.
Bowl.
It still could be.
It still could be.
Okay.
Come on. Aaron Rodgers will come back.
All right. Okay.
we actually have a fan question at the end of the show regarding that.
All right. But that's my take for the 49ers. I could go on longer, but that's the general consensus. 5-0.
Yeah. I don't even think the Eagles are that big of a test. I mean, that defense gives up points, and the 49ers score points.
That's
the Eagles have the worst.
Dallas scores points too.
The
scored points
Eagles
on
are the
Sunday night.
bottom five in red zone defense.
Ain't no test. Get the fuck. Nah.
If
Niner win, dub.
The only thing I would say, health and not shooting yourself in your own foot. If the Niners can stay away from those two, staying healthy and doing everything fundamentally correct, I don't see why this team, and I'll lowball it because I don't like to be too cocky, loses any 3 or more games. 3 should be the cap, because never know. Somebody has a bad week, something happens weird.
True.
Maybe some penalty calls on national TV go against you.
Yeah.
Well, we pray your team has good health, man, because every time the Jets win, somebody goes down with an Achilles.
Yep, it seems like it's got to cost us something.
Is that a transition?
It's a nice transition.
Is that a transition? It's a horrible transition from good to injury, but hey, we got to deliver the news, right?
We got to do it.
No, congratulations to getting Dom on the big win, and
Thank you.
Absolutely,
it's going to be a fun season. I just know it. But we're moving on. Big win in Denver, baby. It was being touted as a must-win. It wasn't pretty. Some of them aren't. But we saved our season, I think, fellas. I got right. Let's see on my notes here. We got a chance to go into the bye at 500. I think a lot of Jet fans were looking at the bye week at least, even with Aaron Rodgers, at 3-3, and they were okay with that. Honestly, dude, I think if we would have had Aaron Rodgers, I don't think we lose to the Cowboys. I'm just saying.
We don't lose to the Patriots.
We don't lose to the Patriots.
We don't lose to the Chiefs either.
If it plays out like it did, then hell, we'd be 5-0 right now.
Come on.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Absolutely
bare minimum, you don't lose
4-1. Bare minimum 4-1.
Right.
Yeah.
Bare minimum 4-1. I'll give them that. But we saved our season, and to have a chance. Luckily, it's not in Philadelphia. Luckily, it's a home game. But as everybody knows, the Jets in their history have never, ever beaten the Eagles. So there's always in the back of my mind. I'm not going to give it away on my pick, but this is just always one of those games that I'm just like, oh, dude, I hate seeing the Eagles on the schedule. I absolutely hate seeing them on the schedule.
Me too, man.
I don't have much of a problem going into the bye at 2-4, especially with the Giants on the other end. But what do you guys think? And we'll start with Brandon, brother. How do you feel with the chance to play Philadelphia and go into the bye at 3-3? Man, that's huge with the way things are shaping up. We won't get into injuries just yet. But, what are your thoughts, brother?
But I thought the bye is after the Giants.
It's after the Giants?
That's what I thought.
I'll be your statistician.
I would say I don't think so.
I could be wrong, but I thought they were out because the 22nd, right? The 22nd we play the Eagles.
No, the Jets have a bye week 7.
Yeah, so it's
the Giants
Eagles,
will be
Giants.
Eagles bye week at the Giants October 29th and week 8.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
So there is a separation. So you guys will be staying in New York for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha. I don't know why I thought I must have been looking at the calendar wrong. Thank you. Sorry about that, Randy.
No, you're good, brother.
But yeah, man, what I love for us to go into the bye week 3-3, absolutely. It is just that I don't know what we're going to expect from this team. Are we going to get into kind of the game and kind of the thing? Because are we going to wait? We're going to wait a little bit for that.
What's that?
To get into the game a little bit.
The Philadelphia game?
No, the game that just passed, the Denver game.
Oh yeah, we're going to get into it real shortly. I just want to get your guys' thoughts on being able to go into the bye week at 3-3.
That'd be great. It would be great. It would be great for the fans. It'd be great for the team. The confidence would be high. Would love for us to get off the schneid and finally beat the Eagles. It would be so great. Eagles fans are being annoying already. But maybe it's good. Maybe them coming in at 5-0. Maybe they're looking past us, and maybe we can use that to our advantage.
I
Who
mean,
knows?
they
But
are,
going into the bye week 3-3 would be fantastic.
dude. They are a team begging to be beat.
They are.
They are absolutely begging to be beat.
They should have lost to the Commanders.
Oh yeah.
They should have lost potentially to the Rams. There's a lot of opportunities this year that that the Eagles should have lost. And recently this week, even though the score didn't look like it, the Rams had chances.
Yeah.
You know, with Cooper
They
Kupp
did.
being back and all those situations. To me, as an outsider, 3-3, best case scenario after Aaron Rodgers goes down 4 plays into the season.
Yeah.
I think even if this week is another loss to the Eagles, and hopefully it is a trap game. We talk about those all the time. It's a trap game. It was almost a trap game for the Chiefs when they came to Sunday Night Football a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's one of those situations again. Hopefully the penalties go your way. But coming out of the break, this is where I think the Jets have an opportunity, regardless of the Eagle result. You come out against the Giants. Then you stay at home against the Chargers, who are more unpredictable than the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're on the road at the vacuum cleaner Roomba and taking on the Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
Who looked awful against the Packers and still won. So let's say you go on a 3-game win streak or take 2 out of the 3. That's still 5-5 through 10 games.
Yeah.
That still keeps you in a very good position moving forward because New England is far behind.
In a weakened AFC that it seems this year.
Yes.
I mean, because who's really dominant outside of Miami and Kansas City right now?
Buffalo.
They just took a major hit on the defensive side of the ball. They're not really that scary.
The AFC North and the AFC South are exactly the same. 2 teams 3-2, the other 2 teams 2-3. So it's like a 50-50 split. You remember later in the year you have that final game against the Patriots. That'll be redemption, hopefully, with as bad as the Patriots look. Yeah. So those 4 games right there, if you take 3 out of 4, you're 6-5 essentially. If you lose to the Eagles, 6-5, battling the rest of the way, a game above 500 is better than any alternative that's under 500 at this point right now. Wouldn't you say?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and move on to this Denver game, and I just want to get this out of the way because, like, I think Brandon knows where I'm going. For the second straight year in the same freaking building, we lose literally one of our best offensive linemen in Elijah Vera Tucker.
Our best one. Our best one.
Dude, I swear to God, dude. Now, as long as he's on this team, anytime I see Denver on the schedule, I'm like, no. Or at least in Denver, I'm like, nope.
You need a sick day.
Yep. I don't ever want to see him play in Denver again. Leave him home.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, and that's the one thing the Jets do not have, as far as I'm concerned, like they do on the defensive side of the ball, like the D line depth that we have. We don't got that on the offensive line. I mean, it's a major fall off from what we have starting on the starting 5 compared to what's behind these guys. And I think this offseason needs to be a statement offseason where we focus on this fucking offensive line, man, because I am getting irritated with this offensive line bullcrap. It is the same thing year in, year out. Guy goes down, we ain't got much behind him to back him up. And it's a question mark, and it's just one of those question marks week in, week out, week in, week out. And I'm gonna be real, and I'm gonna pass this on to Brandon to get his thoughts on what I'm about to say, but I think it's the biggest black eye on Joe Douglas's tenure here is the fact that this he's supposed to be an O-line guy, and it's the one damn thing that he can't seem to shore up like they did on the defensive side of the ball. What do you think, man? Am I just tripping?
No. I just remember, when Joe D first came over, he said that, one of his major things was going to be to fix the O-line. And, he hasn't. Like, I love Joe Douglas. I think he's been a great GM for us. I think he's, done a lot of good things.
Sure.
But I did not love. I did not like. I don't want to say love. I did not like the Mekhi Becton pick at all.
I felt it was a bit of a reach.
I hated that pick because he was often injured
Yeah,
in college. He was too big.
yeah, he's a big dude.
You know, and
I
it's
mean, he
just
had to
like,
lose a lot of weight.
yeah,
Lot.
like it's like he had to reinvent himself
Yeah.
for the NFL in order to just play. And then what do we see in Denver? Dude was down 3 or 4 times in the game.
Yep.
He had to take him out.
They saying that knee issue might linger his whole career.
Yeah, like I'm like, what is going on? And then you got guys like I think he hit on Tippmann. I think Tippmann is nice. He's gonna be really good.
Agree.
Max Mitchell, yeah.
He's not
horrible.
horrible.
Not horrible, but he hit on ABT, but ABT for the second year in a row is gone. And I've heard some people.
I will say, luckily, at least it was a different injury and not the same one. We could at least say that.
But it's almost as if do we label him injury prone at this point? I mean,
back-to-back season.
I mean, he wasn't injured in college. That's the thing.
No, at USC he was healthy.
No, he was healthy. He was healthy, but
I just think it's bad luck in Denver. I just think he has a hard time up there.
We can't blame the turf.
Can't blame the turf.
No.
You can't blame him switching positions because it really didn't have anything to do with it.
No.
So you just wonder. You just wonder if this is going to be something that he has to, you can't keep coming back from year or season-ending injuries.
Yeah.
How do you get better?
Right.
Because you're constantly working yourself back just to get to where you were.
Right.
Or to get to close to where you were. So now he's got to do that for a second year in a row, work himself back to try to get to back where he was. And he wasn't where he was before he got hurt last year. Mm-hmm. No. Not yet.
1 step forward, 2 step back mentality.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. So, I'm with you. I'm with you, Randy. We have to pull out all the stops this offseason and fix that O-line. That should be I don't want to hear us picking up another defensive lineman. Right. I do not want to see it.
Right. Thank you.
Well, I have a question for the both of you. Brandon, I'll let you finish, but I have a question when
I'm done.
Okay. You guys talk about how the Jets have a phenomenal D-line and there's depth at the D-line.
Oh, yeah.
With the struggles with the offensive line right now, and with Vera Tucker out the rest of the season, something like 4 weeks or whatever, the writing's on the wall. Would it be far out of the realm of possibility to take a depth D-line piece and switch him over to O-line? I know mid-season that's a tough ask.
Yeah, that's my problem.
But is there you think there should be an opportunity if, again, win 3 of 4, you get back in this wild card race, that you could take maybe not your starting D-line or maybe the top backup options, but somewhere down the depth chart, switch a guy to O-line, give him a couple weeks in practice, and just even if it doesn't work, use that as an attempt?
I don't even know.
Has that ever happened?
Does Robert Saleh want to be the first? Does Douglas want to be the first to try something new and be innovative?
Yeah, dude.
To be honest with you,
I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I'm not a fan of the idea, and I can't
It's a huge ass. It'd be a huge ass.
I can't imagine what the Jet fans would say if they tried that shit. I don't even know who they would use. Al Woods?
Yeah. It's an outside of the box, thought.
It seems
I just don't think that's more, in my opinion, that's more what you see maybe in college or high school or something like that. Not so much the pros. So you kind of want to pencil those people in their prospective positions and kind of leave them there, unless you're like a hybrid safety that can play linebacker sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. Like you're staying on the same side of the ball.
But you're staying on the same side of the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Out of the box thing can never hurt anybody.
No,
but
not at all.
Hey, if the Jets want to try it,
I mean, if we were like, I don't know, if it was like week 14 and we were just completely like,
dismantled on the offensive line.
What the hell? Why not?
Who knows?
Throw Al Woods. Throw Al Woods at center.
Come on in.
Throw Quentin Jefferson at left guard.
How you been?
Hey, you never know. The free agent market could heat up for the Jets if they're looking for a free agent offensive lineman.
Oh man.
Well, they are. They they worked out La'el Collins today. So we'll see what happens with that. I know he's supposed to go visit the Giants right after us, but we'll see what happens. I know Joe D is looking for another tackle or another guard.
All the depth, it doesn't hurt, man. It doesn't hurt. But speaking of offensive line, and since we've already mentioned him, Mekhi Becton, I do want to give him some props for this week. Mekhi Becton was one of only 3 offensive tackles in the NFL in Week 5 to finish with a PFF grade above 80 in both pass blocking and run blocking. I don't know why it says above 80 and then it says he was given a 77.9 overall grade. That makes no sense to me, but
it's on a bell curve.
But I mean, he needs to cut down some penalties, man. But the kid can play, but it's like Brandon said, he's got to stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He's got he got the most penalties on the offensive line.
He did, and
he has the most this season so far.
You got to clean
on
that
the offensive line.
Got to clean that up.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's just that's discipline, right? That's discipline.
Absolutely.
That's
on coaching.
Yeah, and so he has to get his head in the game, and he's just I don't know, man. I'm not a Becton guy, so I don't know how long he's gonna be a Jet.
I'm with you. I
don't know.
To be honest with you, I don't see him getting that 5th-year option.
They didn't exercise it, so yeah. I mean, so I don't think they're going to. Yeah, I mean,
I think I'm going to be real with you. I think the Jets see what you see, brother. I really do. I think ultimately they're seeing it. They're not going to come out and say it. Obviously, he had
the amazing start. He was mashing guys, and then he got hurt.
Yep.
And he hasn't been able to do it again.
Absolutely.
So I don't know.
Right. But on a more positive note, Zach Wilson. Now, his best day? No. Worst day? Hell no. But again, over 70% completion percentage, man. That's what I'm talking about. 19 for 26, $199 in the air. I mean, I'll say this. Do I think Zach Wilson is a starter in this league? Do I think he's turning into a very, very capable backup? Hell yes. And I will give the coaching staff credit. I mean, hindsight's 20/20, but you can look back and think, okay, this offense was completely tailored for Aaron Rodgers. Now, 4 snaps in, now they got to completely overhaul this offense to cater it to Zach Wilson. 2 different players. You can't have Zach Wilson go out there and run the Aaron Rodgers plays. You got to cater to what Zach Wilson can do. And so it seemed like it took a little while to get there. But with Kansas City coming into town, man, it just seemed like the light went off. And I thought he had a good game this week. I mean, the best game, no. But by Zach Wilson standards, a pretty damn good game. He had the 1 turnover. Little boneheadish. I will say that. But it was a great play. I think it was Surtain that made that play. But
yeah, Patrick Surtain.
Yeah, it was just a phenomenal play. I got like Revis 2009 divisional round Chargers game vibes from that interception, dude. I'm like, oh.
It was a heck of a play on the ball.
But yeah,
Patrick Surtain. Yeah,
not the greatest.
He intercepted it between his legs. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Those are the situations where you just gotta be like, okay, you deserve it.
So I'm not gonna beat Zach Wilson over the head for that one because again, I thought he played a great game. What do you guys think? I mean, Zach Wilson continues to improve. 70% completion percentage. Not turning the ball over at like he was. And when they let him open it up, I mean, you saw that almost damn near 50-yard bomb to Garrett Wilson. Could have had another one if he didn't hold on to it too long. But what do you think, Brandon? I mean, what did you like what you saw?
I rate, I thought it was an okay performance by Zach. And and I rated it kind of like in the 3-tier, good, the bad, and kind of the ugly aspect to his game. And so the good, obviously, back-to-back weeks, 70%. He had a 73.1 completion percentage.
73.1, yes, sir.
So it's back to back. The first time he's ever done it in his career.
Yep.
He has been typically around 50 and 55% completion percentage.
Yep.
So, that is far and away improvement on his end. And then what was I thought was really telling is that 7.7 yards per attempt. So when you think about that, that means he's getting the ball down the field a little bit more at a higher clip than what he used to. Because before that, it was lower than 5. It was around 3.5, 4 yards per attempt, something like that. But he's getting it up, and it's slowly creeping up. And then in addition to that, there are 2 throws that I thought were fantastic that he made. It was the one play action to Garrett Wilson that you mentioned, 38 yards. I mean, just a dart to him. And then that big boy throw to Conklin down the seam on third down. I don't know if you watched Conklin's post-game presser after that, talking about that specific play, because that kept that drive alive and ultimately, scoring. But Zach made a check at the offensive line, at the line of scrimmage. He made a check at the offensive line, saw the defense, read the defense, changed the play, and was able to convert on that third down.
That's
improvement
right there. That's confidence.
Right? That's confidence, right? So kind of the bad to me where he has to take care of the ball. He fumbled the ball two or three times. He fumbled the ball. And thankfully, we were able to recover the fumble.
Yeah.
But again, you got to protect the ball. I mean, Aaron Rodgers said it today. During Pat McAfee show, if you can protect the football or take care of the football, that means you can play in this league.
Yep.
That's how you get paid. That's how you get longevity. That's how you get more gigs. So you got to take care of the football. And then again, the ugly for me was that pick, because honestly, when I'm watching the play, it probably should have been. It was a great play on Patrick Surtain, but would it have still been picked if it was kind of a back shoulder?
No.
Throw?
No.
I was thinking that probably should have been a back shoulder throw.
Yeah.
But that's just nitpicking. But
even if you had to lead Garrett out of bounds, it would have been a first down.
It would have been, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like a back shoulder throw probably was the play on that one, or should have been the throw on that play, as opposed to putting it in an impossible spot for Garrett to catch it.
Right.
And of course, Patrick Surtain being one of the best young corners in the league.
Yep.
He just made a play on that. Nothing you could do about that. But
I will actually add on to your ugly.
Yeah.
The throw where he basically, I mean, it's a decent throw, but it's more of a lob, and he basically leads Garrett out of bounds for basically nothing. Like when he hits the 40, you should have
wide open.
You should have thrown a frozen rope to his ass in stride.
He was wide open.
Like the play they did Breece Hall last year. I think it was against the Bears, where they hit him in stride. He was just like, boom, and he was off. It was a touchdown.
Yeah.
If he would have hit Garrett Wilson in stride instead of just lobbing it up and having him go chase it, that was 6. That was 6, dude.
Yeah.
Because Patrick Surtain wasn't even looking. He would have passed him. There was hardly any safety help. All he had to go, he would have just had to cut inside, and he would have been gone, dude.
That's where Zach Wilson just has to know more about Garrett Wilson.
Absolutely.
Garrett Wilson can do anything.
Right. He's always open. He's always open.
Hit him in stride.
Who always says I'm always open?
Jamar Chase.
Yeah, well, Garrett Wilson
Devontae Adams too. So, but I want to say that I felt like Zach looked better in the Chiefs game.
He did.
He looked better in the Chiefs game, and this game was so weird because the Broncos, the worst defense or second to worst defense in the league, and Zach didn't look like he did against the Chiefs. So it's just kind of weird.
They had 3 sacks in the first
I don't
quarter.
know how to. Yeah, I'm just like, it's hard for me to assess this, and because I'm just like, why did he look good against a better defense, but not the same against one of the worst defenses? It doesn't make any sense.
I think it was coaching. I think they held him back a little bit, because there was times I'm like, oh my God, this is looking like weeks 1 through 3. This doesn't look like the week 4 with Zach. And then they would There's the play to Conklin. There's the play to Garrett Wilson. I'm like, there's
Or the
that-
rope to
That's
Lazard.
what I'm talking about. Yes.
He threw a rope to Lazard.
I go,
that was nice.
that's what we need to be calling. I said, I go, when you have a day like Breece, and we're going to get into this boy next. When you have a day like Breece Hall had, and you've seen what Zach Wilson can do, open it the hell up, dude. Stop with all this conservative bull crap. And we'll get it. And we'll get
you know
into
what that
it.
is? You know what the conservative call is? That's somebody on the coaching staff. Excuse me. Analytics. Analytics are saying, oh, it's 2nd and 4 instead of doing the frozen rope, doing the things that are working. Be conservative, do this, lead the way. Analytics is where in multiple sports gets a little bit in the way. You got to go with your instincts and eye test. But overall, if I look at Zach Wilson's line, 19 for 26, 199 yards, and the 73.1% completion rate. If I look at that numbers only, nobody else's, and I just see the final score and compare the two, I'm saying to myself, completion percent means more than yards passed when it comes to Zach Wilson.
Right. Yep.
But as Randy mentioned, we're going to get into it, and it's a perfect segue. If I look, they win by 10. He only threw for 199. He had a relatively clean game. They must have opened up the running game finally and relieved pressure off Zach Wilson. It only took 5+ weeks, but Breece Hall goes beast mode.
Oh, yeah.
22 carries, 177 yards, 8 yards per carry.
And that's like a first down every time he touches it.
That's difference maker quality. And with Denver,
absolutely,
Denver is the team where you needed to do this. This was the game, regardless if they were undefeated or hadn't won a game yet this year. Breece had to run the ball in this game with Denver's awful run defense.
Yep.
And you did what you had to do. So when you have that balance to Zach Wilson's so-so game, of course, I don't want to say of course the Jets are going to win, but the odds go extremely higher when Breece Hall or Dalvin Cook run the ball as effectively as they do in this game.
Absolutely. What you want to talk about? You want to throw your thoughts on Breece, brother?
Who, me or Brandon?
Oh, I'm sorry, Brandon.
Oh, Brandon.
Oh.
My bad.
Hey, Breece, I'm not going to complain about. He was. You know what I'll say? My final thing. He was very Christian McCaffrey-esque. He took over those yardage of Christian McCaffrey this week. So good for Breece.
I love Breece Hall.
$177, dude.
Yeah, I love Breece Hall. He is just
so special.
I have a special place in my heart for running backs because Curtis Martin is my favorite
all time
Jet of all time.
Yep. Amen.
And watching Breece run, I mean, just the smoothness and the quickness and how fast he is. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see. He sets the tone.
Oh, absolutely.
Give the ball to your best players. Not very many teams have a guy that can basically just put your team on your back and change the game. He was the difference maker. He is a difference maker. And he was in that game. We needed that score so bad.
Oh, absolutely.
Because before that, we were down 13-8.
And this isn't going to be a knock to the Jets, and this could be a big statement or put the bell on because this might be a weird statement, but I think in this Jets offense, Breece Hall can be more of a difference maker than Garrett Wilson because when you have Breece Hall doing this type of work, it expands the offense. We know Garrett Wilson's open. We know Garrett Wilson's capabilities. The one hindrance to Garrett Wilson is he's dependent on the quarterback getting him the ball. And that can go for every wide receiver in football. That's just the nature of the position.
Yep.
But when you hand off the ball to Breece Hall, and yes, you have to depend on the offensive line creating the gaps. But even if there's no gaps, I'm content with Breece Hall's talent and execution that he can create his own, gaps and positive yardage situations. So I think for Jets offense right now, with where we are with Zach Wilson and no Aaron Rodgers, and they're, being a game under 500 and everything that's gone on this year, unlocking the potential and execution level of Breece Hall is more important to this team than the execution level of Garrett Wilson. Because we all expect 6 receptions, 90 yards, and a touchdown minimum for Garrett Wilson every week, like something along those lines. So I would put more on Breece Hall than Garrett Wilson, just because there has been inconsistency with Breece Hall, and I think that's from play calling.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Because he's always, if you look at the tape, Garrett Wilson's always open.
Always.
He is.
Always.
Even with Patrick Surtain guarding him.
Yep.
He was open.
Yep.
So, I mean,
Getting
so
separation.
that's a great point, Dom. Great point.
Separation.
Yeah.
I love it. I will say this. As good as an offensive showing as Breece Hall showed, overall, and this just isn't on the offense. This is defense too. We gotta start these. We gotta start these games a lot faster, man. Like luckily they botched the punt. We got the turnover, but it was a 3 and out. And weren't we down like 7-0, 7-3 at one point?
It was a weird score. It was
like 8-5, no,
or 8-5. Yeah, there you go.
It was a baseball score.
Yeah, right.
Baseball
The first
score.
half.
Then, yeah.
Like, again, playing from behind. Like, you gotta stop making the offense press and play from behind. It's getting old, man. And I said it. I don't know where I said it. I don't know if I said it in my post game wrap up after the game. But you keep playing from behind. If this was a good team with a good, like if this was a team like we'd played in the first 4 weeks, we'd have lost that game.
If you played the 49ers, you would have been put to bed at halftime.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, if we would have played any team that was, I mean, outside of the Patriots, that was worth the damn, because our first 6 weeks, we all looked at it. It was like, okay, that's a tough start. So if we would have played teams like we played in the first 4 weeks, minus the Patriots, we'd have lost this game, because you can't keep allowing teams to score and get ahead, and then you're constantly playing from behind. I mean,
it's almost as if, like, Randy, it's almost as if they put a game plan together, and it's the wrong game plan.
Yeah.
And then they have to make adjustments.
Yep.
Right? Because that's the same thing that happened against Denver. You allow an undrafted rookie just torch us in the first 2 drives.
Yeah, that was.
I'm like, what is going on? And then you don't hear from him for the rest of the game.
Got his mama all over the screen. We're trying to score points.
Then you don't hear from him for the rest of the game because we made adjustments.
Yeah.
I'm like, Ulbrich, what was your game plan? What is your game plan coming in? Are you looking at tape? Like, why is this defense always starting off slow?
Yep.
But we want to love the stat that, they haven't scored a second half touchdown, yada, yada. Yeah, but we did this week. We allowed Denver to go up the field on us in the fourth quarter and score.
Yep.
It's just weird. But, whatever.
I mean, this defense, I got the stat right here. Average points given up per quarter. First quarter, 7.4. Second quarter, 7.4. Third quarter, after we made those adjustments, that's when we settled down. 1.8.
Yeah.
And then in the fourth quarter, I think Rex Ryan comes in the building and we start playing some prevent defense or some bullshit. But then we give up 4.4.
I think I really think, based on great numbers right there with the quarter breakdowns, I think first half, it's a mixture of playing a little bit scared.
Yeah.
And also, let's try one of everything on the platter and see what sticks on the wall. And then in the second half, whatever stuck, we'll keep, and the rest goes.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
It's not the right game. That's not the right. This is not. You want to do that in high school? Great. Right. You want to do that in college when it's Alabama against UNC, Middle State, or those deep, like, wannabe stupid week 1, week 2 matchups? Great. Go do that.
Yep.
In the NFL, you can't waste any opportunity. It's a game of momentum.
Absolutely.
If you allow like Randy said, like both of you said, if this was any other team, if this was the Dolphins, a divisional matchup, Tyreek potentially torching you. Raheem Mostert could be running. You name the team outside of a few lonely ones in the league, you might be down 2 to 3 touchdowns at halftime with that mindset from the defensive side of things. And Salah's a defensive guy, so that's a little Jekyll and Hyde for me. When he was a Niner, it was all gas, no break.
Yep.
So it is a different mindset, and especially with the defense you guys have at your disposal.
Got to establish our dominance early.
It is weird a little bit, but again, maybe it was Sean Payton, the chip on the shoulder game. Let's not show him all the cards at first. Like, if that is the case, I wouldn't go with that approach. That
I wouldn't either.
You're teetering on danger.
64 first half points this year. Only 31 in the second half. Like, that's what I'm saying. Start establishing your dominance. We were talking, oh, we're going to be historic in the offseason. Oh, we're going to be the 2000 Baltimore Ravens, 85
Bears.
Well, let me tell you, the 2000 Ravens, the 85 Bears, they giving up 64 fucking points in the first quarter. They might give up 31 points the whole damn game. The whole fucking season, I mean.
Yeah.
So, you ain't backing up no talk right now because, 64 points, like, teams know they can come out and score on you.
Yeah.
But this defense has the ability from the second half, so you have that on tape. So there's no excuse why it can't happen for the first half. The pieces are there. It's not like you have the worst defense in the league and these numbers are for the worst defense in the league. No, I think right now, we're still rated a top 10 defense in the NFL at this moment right now. Mm-hmm. So with that at your disposal, this should be something that should be easily able to clean up. That should not take that much time.
Absolutely. And speaking of cleanup, I actually got a couple things right here. And I know Brandon's going to want to touch on some of this.
Especially before the Eagles.
First of all, 9 for 71 in penalties. Clean it up.
Well, that roughing the passer call when Russell Wilson was slid at the last minute. Yeah. Like, how do you call
judgment call? That's another one of those cheatery judgment calls where is a player supposed to be an out of body experience and levitate off somebody?
It's momentum, dude.
It's momentum.
If you have the quarterback slide, this is just that item up for grabs here. When the quarterback runs, takes off, and before a defender is even attempting to fall, and he's already in the baseball sliding position, if he hits the quarterback, it should be fine, with the exception of any, the
helmet to helmet,
the forcible helmet to helmet contact, or anything egregious
like spearing.
Spearing. If it's incidental contact where he's trying to jump over the guy and his leg accidentally hits the shoulder and the quarterback's all LeBron James, oh my god, I have a torn arm. Like, if you have something like that, like,
right,
if it's egregious enough where you knock somebody out, throw the flag. I get it. But incidental contact where it's a bump and a bruise and it's not to the face, neck area, there's gotta be some leeway in those situations.
I never understood that crap.
It's not just the Jets. I've seen it in other games. You gotta have some. But again, if it was Patrick Mahomes, if it's Russell Wilson, we'll throw the flag. If it's Josh Allen, we'll throw the flag.
If it's Zach Wilson, you ain't getting no flag.
And I bet you, if it's Brock Purdy, you're probably not getting that quite yet.
Not yet. Not quite.
Dominico said something today about that. He said the Jets haven't had a roughing the passer call since Richard Todd.
But no, seriously, 2 fucking years. 2 years. Last one we got was in 2021.
Come on, man.
That's it. Dude, I'm not even lying, dude. If I was anybody that was worth the crap and I looked at that stat, I'd be like, that seems like that's got to be fucking impossible.
This is where the conspiracy theories come out again. Look at around the league this week. There were some serious questionable calls that are like, I was watching the Chiefs-Vikings game.
Oh my God. I told you guys.
And there's some calls that are going the Chiefs' way, and I'm like.
You see the one they picked up the flag?
Yeah. Dude, like, the dude took his hat off in the end zone. That's unsportsmanlike conduct. That's what.
Like
that's
the Vikings.
Yards.
The Vikings, they were not even worried about the should have been passing or hold. It should have been holding, not passing.
Oh, big time holding.
The head coach, he literally mouthed the words, fuck the hold. He took off his helmet. Like, he didn't even care about the holding penalty.
Dude, I said it after the Jets.
Conspiracy theory.
I told you guys, I said it after the Jets-Chiefs game, that going forward, every team's going to have to deal with that shit. Dude, they are the Patriots of they're the modern day Patriots. They are the darlings of the NFL. They love Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Hey, Kelsey got bunked out of the second quarter with a paired foot injury, and social media said it was Taylor Swift's fault for not being at the game and kissing his boo-boos.
No, we're not doing Taylor
Kansas City Swifties. The Kansas City Swifties.
Speaking of getting bunked out, now I said some things need to be cleaned up and penalties for sure. Now, to finish up on penalties, and Brandon, you can attest, I'm sure you can agree to this. Clearly, we're not going to get a bunch of the calls. Clearly, we can't be spotting teams field position. Clean it up. The other thing I want to see cleaned up is the gold zone. 0 for 5, dude. 0 for 5. You couldn't give me 2 touchdowns? That's what I'm saying when I say quit playing conservative with Zach Wilson. Open it up.
Yeah, so I think on that one drive where we ran the ball down their throats all the way up the field, where's the play action?
Exactly.
That's half of the 49ers playbook right now. Play action.
Hello?
That's what I mean. That's
Zach
what I'm saying.
Is at his best when he's doing play action, when he can play action, roll out.
Thank you.
He is at his best. Why would you do three runs in the red zone?
Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand that. They were expecting it. So as a result, the defense stiffens up in the end zone or in the red zone.
Yep.
So do something. The running game was working. And that is prime for play action.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I'm gonna give a little.
They weren't stacking the box anymore with Brees doing what he was doing. I mean, you saw that on those plays to Conklin, the throw to freaking Garrett Wilson, the frozen rope to Alan Lazard, even the play to freaking Garrett Wilson that gets freaking intercepted. Oh,
hey, I'm going to give some props to Zach Wilson for a second.
Go ahead.
And this is on a contingency plan. If the Jets, and again, this is going to sound homerism because I'm going to mention my Niners. If you open the playbook a little bit, establish the run game, add a little play action rollout pass game, with the talent that Zach Wilson has, he has arm strength, he has the intangibles of what could be.
He can make every throw.
A consistent quarterback in the NFL. If you did certain intangibles as a coaching staff to favor him, he could be very similar success-wise to Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy runs through the progressions. He has an established run game that opens up the passing game. You see the play action rollout, which creates movement on the field. You find your open guy and you dink and dunk it in. You can't give Zach Wilson. This is what's going to make him more of a backup in this league. Stay in the pocket, drop back, hail it out. Yes, Garrett Wilson's open, but you can't do that 10, 15, 17 out of 26 attempts are drop back 15-yard deep bombs. You got to go for those intermittent routes, but you have to scheme it with a little play action rollout. And Wilson's got legs too. It's not like he's
for sure.
And he has to stay in the box.
30-some yards rushing on Sunday?
He's got,
like 36
he's got
yards.
wheels.
Yeah.
He's got wheels.
So there could be some similarities to his game to Brock Purdy's game if the Jets open up the playbook and scheme things just a little bit differently. I could see it. And I'm not trying to be homerism, but there's similarities that could happen, truthfully.
I mean, like I said, I don't think he's a starting quarterback in this league, but I mean, open the playbook up, play to his strength. I mean, we saw it against the Chiefs. That's why I said, don't go back, keep going forward, do more of that. Yep. And they barely sprinkled a little of it in the Broncos game. I'm like, dude, 5 trips in the red zone, we should at least had 14 points, dude. At least 14 points. But I will say this. While it wasn't the greatest, they at least made their halftime adjustments and looked a lot better in the second half. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But and I think Brandon's gonna get real excited what I'm about to touch on right now. Who was that guy you said Fred Warner in San Francisco, my brother?
Yep, Fred
Okay.
Warner, middle linebacker.
Well, we got us a cat over here in New York named Bryce Huff. This bad motherfucker. All right. He played 44% of the snaps this week. He got an increased role. He got a 5% increase in snaps this week. He had 8 pressures. That's +2 from last week. He had a sack. That's +1 from last week. He matched his number in quarterback hits this week, and that was 2. 40% pressure rate this week. That's 1% up from last week. And he leads all defensive players with a 29.9 pressure rate. Huff, excuse me, Huff needs to continue seeing more increased playing time, man. Like, Brandon, what do you think, dude? Like,
Oh, absolutely.
I am in love with me some Bryce Huff, baby.
He is a game wrecker. He is a game wrecker, and he's proving it. He's proving it time in and time out. You know, I'm hoping we do him a service and extend him. Give that man the contract for real, because he's playing on a 1-year deal.
Oh yeah,
lock
him up.
Lock him up. Lock him up, because he is proven to be a game wrecker. As soon those numbers you mentioned, they don't lie.
No,
and look at the tape.
Absolutely.
Look at the visuals. Just look at how he comes in, and offensive lineman can't do anything with him.
No answer.
So yeah, man, I'm 100% with you.
I mean, to be honest with you, I say this cat's a couple of weeks from being a full-time starter. That's just me. I mean, I don't know who's going to see less playing time, but I don't give a damn who it is. Bryce Huff needs to be in there all the time because, like you said, he is a game wrecker. Did you want to input anything, Dominic, on Bryce Huff?
I'll make it short and sweet.
Sure.
It's athleticism, it's drive, it's dominance. The big key for him to see more playing time this upcoming week against that Eagles offensive line, if he can do what he's been doing, even if it's a little bit of a tail off because the Eagles O-line is very good, if he still brings the pressure and does what he has been doing to a certain level this week against this Eagles O-line, there is no doubt in my mind that he should not, after the bye week, do more work and be in that starting line. Because he'll take out the Giants O-line.
Oh, yeah.
The Chargers O-line, you could get to Justin Herbert.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that, the Raiders, you could get to Jimmy Garoppolo.
Peel the mirrors back, baby.
There's absolutely cut him loose. Cut him loose this week. This is a test against the Eagles. Cut him loose. All gas, no brakes. Then you could see the potential that he has when you have some weaker opponents.
Fuck yeah.
Do it.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. And I know every Jet fan, all the Jet fans watching this show right now are saying the same thing. Hell yeah.
Cut him loose.
I mean,
in a good way. In a good
I'm
way.
absolutely intrigued to see just how much of an increase he gets this week and just how much of an advantage he takes of it. I mean, I have so much faith in that guy. Like, when he's on the field, I ain't even worried. I'm like, watch out.
Yeah.
He is just a stud. I mean, the future of this defensive line, and they're young, dude. They are young.
They have the opportunity, this D-line, in 3 to 4 years, maybe a little bit less, depending. Again, health is always a question.
Absolutely.
To be at the level of the Niners defensive line where it's at right now.
Yep.
I think strength, athleticism, drive, all those intangibles, they have that opportunity to be at that level.
That's why when I look, and we're pretty much gonna wrap up the Denver game. I'll say this, and I'll let you guys get any final thoughts on this game. But that's why I really feel like this team is still very much in the playoffs. Division win? Probably not. Probably not. It's probably going to go to the Dolphins. And that's not I said that right. I said Dolphins. Fuck them. But 7th wild card? Why the hell not? We got Breece Hall, dude. We got a top 10 defense, at least right now. Now, I'm eating a little crow on the defense right now. I said we were going to lead. We were going to be a the best defense in the league. I said we're going to lead the league in sacks, and we ain't doing that right now. We ain't doing that right now. So I'm eating crow on that, but we got a top 10 defense. Probably the best running back. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say I don't give a shit who disagrees. I'll say best running back in the league. And if they can open it up, and Zach Wilson can continue protecting the football, give me I don't know 65 to 70% on the completion percentage. I don't see why we can't win enough games to make us to be a wild card team. I really don't.
Brandon?
No,
you know.
Go ahead, Dominic. Go ahead.
No. I'm just looking at the standings before I let Brandon. Just quick thought on the standings. Jets 2-3. They have the same record as the Texans, the Titans, the Raiders, and the Bengals. If all goes well,
thank you for that.
But if all goes well, the Bengals are going to continue to improve. I don't foresee them dropping like a sack of potatoes. I know it's iffy, but if they get hot, you never know. But above the Jets, Chargers and Browns are 2-2, just had a bye. Shaky teams.
Yeah.
Buffalo is normally better than what they normally are. Baltimore, shaky. Indianapolis lost their quarterback, but Minshew's not bad. Shaky. Jacksonville should be better. Shaky at the moment. Pittsburgh, they're going to drop off. 3-2 in first, that's not relevant. And then you have Miami and the Chiefs. So really, if you hop 2 or 3 teams and the other, Ravens and the mediocre teams that are good right now are going to tail off, there's the opportunity. It's a very large wild card race right now between
the AFC games.
The
AFC games if you can.
Yes.
Well said.
Between 3-2 and 2-3, there's a huge distinction, Brandon.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't have really much else to say. You guys have pretty much nailed it, but that's my point. Win the AFC games. Would we love to win the NFC games? Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Eagles game is a long shot. We all know that.
Sure.
But focus on them AFC games, man. We can get those AFC games. We already got we got two. Yeah, we've got 2. And divisional games are worth 2. When we beat the Bills.
Yep.
So just continue to do that, and I think we will put ourselves right there in the mix.
Absolutely.
I said to Randy, I think the night that Aaron Rodgers went down, maybe the next day, because you were pretty hot on Monday Night Football. you were a little sulkage in there. I said when the dust settles and you looked at the schedule and with everything going on, if the Jets could win 9 games, if it's for a wild card or even just, I hate the term, but moral victory for this season, if the Jets could get to 9 wins, knowing Aaron Rodgers went down, would you two say that was successful enough?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So you're
right.
And again, outsider perspective, you're 2-3. You beat the Giants. You beat the Raiders. Beat the Falcons. Beat the Texans. Beat the Browns. Beat the Commanders. Beat the Patriots. Oh, look, there's 9 wins. If you can do that, and you can steal maybe one of the Dolphins games, steal the Charger game, which is 50-50. If you can get the Charger game, guess what? You do everything else right, you could be at 10 wins, and that should get you a playoff berth.
It should.
So 9 games, the bare minimum for me of 9 games is clearly 100% still in the realm of possibility. As a Niner fan, Jets fans, do not lose hope.
No, not at all.
The options are still there, and the intangibles are there.
Absolutely, man. And I want before we move on to the final segment. I wouldn't say the final segment, but our picks. I read a comment on X, I guess as you call it nowadays. I saw a Jet fan say that I'm over Zach Wilson, even after he's played well over the last 2 weeks, and then he followed that comment up with, I wouldn't even want to win 9 games with Zach Wilson. What? First of all, we win 9 games with Zach Wilson, I'll be fucking impressed.
That's loser mentality, right?
Absolutely loser mentality.
That's someone who's trying to get a quarterback in the draft. That's a tanking comment.
That's a Caleb Williams fan.
Yeah, I hate those kind of fans, man. I just come on, dude.
No.
So anyway,
everybody should be commenting that the Jets were able to hack it this week.
No pun intended. All right.
He celebrated that win. Don't tell me he enjoyed walking across that field.
As he should have.
Hey, excuse me 1 second, fellas.
Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead, while Brandon's doing his thing, we're going to go ahead and move on to our picks. Again, I want to go to the record here. Standing so far, first place, yours truly, 48-30. We got Dom in second place at 47-31. And we got our brother Brandon down there at 46-32. It's super close. Horrible week. Like I said, let's see here. Both of you guys went 9-5. I went 8-6. It's literally my worst week.
But let's be real. Some games, like we talked about the early portion of the show, all three of us were guaranteed on Buffalo. We were all guaranteed on the Commanders.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the third game that we were pretty much all in concession on was the Packers, Monday Night Football. Those three games, I think. Randy? Who was your game that you picked that was your biggest disappointment?
Honestly,
to me, mine was the Packers. Biggest disappointment.
I'm trying to look here. Honestly, I'm gonna say the Packers, because you guys made a great point about Jacksonville being in London for 2 weeks and Buffalo not. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Packers. That's probably the biggest disappointing loss of the week. Like,
I know you want to say Arizona. I know you do. But you knew Jamar Chase after his comments and Joe Burrow. This team, the Bengals, are set up.
I still don't trust them.
They're untrustable at the moment, but they're a team that's built for better. And I think that's where a lot of people, have that love-hate relationship right now with the Bengals.
I'm not gonna lie, Atlanta's another one of those teams I don't fully trust. I really thought the Texans can pull that one out, and they damn near did. I think at one point Atlanta was ahead. I don't know, it was like 17.
Atlanta had a lead. Houston tried making the comeback, but just Atlanta's scrappy. And when we get into the picks, that game that they have upcoming this week is going to be an interesting. I think this week, if I had to make a pre-prediction of the predictions, there's going to be a lot of different picks this week than last week, where the three of us were very similar in our picks.
I hope so.
Let's get to them, because I got to get to bed.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's roll. Let's roll the East Coast boy.
We got Thursday night, Denver at Kansas City. This is easy. Kansas City. I don't need to say anything.
Kansas City.
No explanation.
They got the refs. All right, moving on to Sunday.
They got the refs.
They got the refs. I'm telling you. I told you.
Ready to slid that in.
Ask Minnesota. All right, Baltimore at Tennessee. Oh man.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna say Tennessee because it's at home. I'm gonna say it's close. I'm gonna say 17-14 Tennessee.
Tennessee is not at home. It's one of the early 6:30 a.m. games.
Oh, you're right. Son of a bitch. Why do I keep missing that?
They are in.
Well, it's technically a home game for them.
They are in Tottenham. I think they're in Tottenham.
Any chance anybody's been there for 2 weeks? No, of course not.
Yeah, no. For me, well, Randy, if you want to deliberate on your decision.
No, I still think I'm going to go with Tennessee. I just think they're going to come out and win. I just think they're going to win it. I think it's going to be close, 17-14. So
King Henry has a game.
Yeah,
but Lamar Jackson is probably going to be a little bit better. I'm taking Baltimore in this game.
Okay. Baltimore, Brandon.
We're only in the second pick.
I know. I love it. It's going to be a great week. Hurry up. You got to go to bed.
I know. Yeah, but
dude, I feel you. When I was sitting here looking at these last night, I was the same way. I was like, oh, God, I'm not even out of we're game 2, and I can't even get past it.
Yep.
If Baltimore doesn't win this game, I'm not picking them again. That's how I feel. How you feel about Cincinnati? That's how I feel about Baltimore.
Yep, 100%.
All right, so I'm the lone wolf on this one. I'm loving it already.
Let's go.
Going undefeated. All right, next we got Washington at Atlanta. Okay, this isn't a London game. Had to make sure. Washington and Atlanta. You know what?
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Look at that.
I'm gonna go with the Birds, man. I know I'm on the Washington bandwagon, but they let me down last week, and when you let me down,
their defense has been horrific in the passing game, and even though Desmond Ridder is not a passer, Bijan Robinson, this could be the game where he's like,
yeah,
it's a one-man wrecking crew.
You also had a Kyle Pitts sighting.
Yeah, and I'm a petty bitch too. So when you let me down one time, I'm
all right.
So I'm gonna go with the Birds on this one.
Yeah.
Watch
Commanders come in and blow the doors off.
Look at me now. I'm having second thoughts though, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of second thoughts. Baltimore's a second thought. Atlanta. I have at least 3 more second thoughts in the rest of the picks.
I'm gonna go with you guys.
Atlanta.
You guys are Atlanta. I'm gonna stick. Okay, I'm gonna go with Atlanta. I'm gonna stick with my gut on this one. I'm gonna say somewhere along the lines 24-17, something like that.
Okay.
All right. Next on a little NFC North action. We got the Vikings at the Bears.
Oh my gosh.
No Justin Jefferson.
This is my head scratcher where it's like you just saw the Bears two-man wrecking crew.
I'm gonna go with the Bears.
I'm going with the Bears too.
I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Yep.
I'm gonna be lone wolf in the gold and purple Vikes.
Ooh.
I think Justin Fields has another big week. I'm just saying.
Minnesota's defense has been better the last couple of weeks. Not great, better.
They stink. Both these teams stink.
Yeah. Like, I expected the Chiefs not to throw the doors off the Vikings, but I thought Jefferson would be bigger and before the injury. It's not prime time, so Kirk Cousins won't be prime time Kirk like he will be in 2 weeks against the Niners on Monday night.
Oh.
But Chicago at home, that could be a difference maker. Chicago has no running game right now. They have injuries all over their run game.
That's true.
So I think Minnesota is going to go after DJ Moore and cover him. So you're going to have to ask Darnell Mooney and some other low wide receivers to play big. In a very close game, I'll be the lone wolf and say Minnesota.
Well, think about it like this. They're playing in Chicago, in Soldier Field. Light, and it's going to be raining.
Oh, well.
Beautiful.
So, and Minnesota's a dome team. I gotta go with.
I just think Justin Fields gonna have another week.
Yeah, I think so
that's
too.
That's what I'm basing it off of.
It's early in the season, and I'm trying to get to first place. Give me Minnesota. So I can make up some time later.
You can make some time later.
I'll make up some time later on bye weeks, but
we're gonna be talking about this next week. Man, how about that Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah, and I will eat the crow if I have to, but give me some purple and gold.
All right. So we got Brandon and myself with the Bears and Dominic with the Vikings. All right.
Yep.
Moving on. It's gonna be an easy pick for me. Seattle at Cincinnati. Seattle.
Bengals.
Seattle.
Please beat Seattle. The Niners fans say, please, Joe Burrow, knock out the Seahawks at home. Go Bengals.
I think it'll be close. I think we're talking 27-24, but I think the Seagulls pull it out.
Bengals for me.
Really?
Ooh.
That's right, Brandon. Let's go.
Yes.
Okay.
Look at his face.
All right. The Bengals. I hope you guys regret that decision. You will. It's the fucking Bengals. They're I got some hair on me. What's going on here? They're a little hungover this year.
See, hey,
$250 million man's popping bottles.
All you got to do is eat some bird, and you'll be fine.
If they were playing in Seattle, I would have picked Seattle.
Agree.
Cincinnati, the jungle. I'm gonna mock them. You pissed me off. I'm petty. I told you.
Hey, here's a bet. If Cincinnati pulls off this win, next episode has the song opening must be "Welcome to the Jungle."
Okay,
Yes.
Okay, that's fair. Bitches better not win. All right, game of the week for Dominic. San Francisco at Cleveland. I got Cleveland in this one, man.
Cleveland all day.
I'm just joking.
No Deshaun Watson, no problem. Niners are healthy, 5-0. Faithful to the Bay, folks. Let's go.
This is easy. I got one for you. San Francisco all the way, 40-10.
Oh.
If that. I don't even think this go 10.
If PJ Walker starts for the
That's
Browns,
cold, man.
hey, okay, to make this pick
Wait, who's the
interesting,
backup quarterback for the Browns?
PJ Walker. He used to play in the
Exactly.
XFL or
From the
something.
XFL?
Yeah. Right now, this is
Houston
generous.
Roughnecks?
Vegas is giving the 49ers only 5.5 point
I
favor.
saw that. 5.5. I was like, 5.5.
They gave more points to the Cowboy game.
Oh, they're gonna rig this game. That means Brock Purdy's gonna
Myles Garrett
slide
is
before
good.
making a
Myles-
touchdown watch.
Hey, Myles Garrett is good. Look out for him on defense. Everything
He's
else,
good.
just match up Trent Williams with Myles Garrett. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's not even gonna be close. So
Go
we're
Niners.
obviously unanimous there in San Francisco. Wait, you were just kidding, right, Brandon?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm not crazy.
Make sure. I had to
I'm not
make
crazy.
sure. I'd be over here like, oh, pick Cleveland. All right. NFL game of the week. Carolina and Miami.
Miami.
Easy. Come on, dude.
No questions asked.
Dude, Carolina sucks. And they got a rookie quarterback, so
Yeah. Dolphins.
yeah, easy. And it probably won't even be close.
They may draft Caleb Williams.
Carolina? Oh, that would be horrible.
Would that be messed up?
Oh man,
Ooh.
poor Bryce Young.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh damn. All right, next. Okay, so we're all going Miami there. Next, Detroit at Tampa Bay. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I did pause on this one, but ultimately I'm going with my boys, Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit.
It's going to be a sneaky matchup, though. I think it might be one of the better games on the Sunday slate.
I'm gonna agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
And I'll
Which is why I paused on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. We'll clean sweep this one. Detroit Lions.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, next up, a little AFC South action. We got the Colts at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh.
Yeah, another.
This is a food for thought one because Minshew in at quarterback with the Colts, but could this be the reverse jinx for Jacksonville where they're coming back to America, having to reacclimate to a time zone again? And is it the reverse jinx type situation?
That's a good point.
I got
And you know
Jacksonville on a roll.
You know what? And you made that point last week with the Buffalo and the Jacksonville game, and you're making it this week. So you know what? I'm gonna tap into that, and I'm gonna pick the Colts.
Minshew mania.
Yeah, as much as I like the Jacksonville Jaguars this year, I like the Colts, dude. The Colts are a scrappy team, man. You know, yeah, they're down their starter, but like you said, Gardner Minshew.
He hasn't played horrible. He's
Yeah.
pretty good.
He's a very capable backup in this league.
One of the
And
best backup quarterbacks in this league.
I could agree with that 100%. So I'm going with the Colts on this one, Brandon. What about you? And I'm thinking close game because it's a divisional game. I'm thinking 21-17 Colts.
This is a game the Jags could very well lose. They
need it as well. They need this win against a divisional opponent.
They do. But this reminds me of the what game did they lose? Did the Jags lose to? That had our head scratching.
That was
Texans.
Was it the
the
Falcons?
Texans.
Oh, the Texans.
Yeah.
Although Texans are pretty.
Yeah,
scrappy.
I'm gonna pick the Jags. I'm gonna
Okay.
pick the Jags.
So I'm the lone wolf on this one.
Okay, so see, we have some more lone wolf weeks
I'm
that could
loving
change up the standings.
I'm
Let's
loving it.
go.
I'm going undefeated. All right. New Orleans at Houston. Now, is Derek Carr healthy? I haven't looked.
He's
That's
still
what I-
playing. Derek
Okay.
Carr's playing through it.
I think as long as Derek Carr, I like Houston. Like I said, I just got done saying they're a scrappy team. It is a home game, but I like as long as Derek Carr's the quarterback and he's playing. I like New Orleans. I like them close though. I'm thinking like 24-21, but give me the Saints, man.
Yeah, I think CJ Stroud throws his first interception this week.
Yeah, the
Wait,
Saints.
he hasn't thrown an interception yet?
Nope.
He's been clean, very clean.
He is so good.
I think it's New Orleans defense is probably one of the better defenses they've faced so far this year.
Yeah.
Sure.
I could
Yeah.
see an interception being made. Kamara's back. Michael Thomas isn't jumping off the page for the Saints, but he's been like
Oh, he's steady. He's been steady though.
Blue collar
Yeah.
worker steady.
Yeah.
He's working himself back in.
He's working himself back in. So Saints in a close game, but yeah, Saints.
So
Sweep.
sweep on the Saints. All right. Okay. Now here's a game that I think is going to be. I think it's going to be boring as fuck. And this is my WTF game of the week. And going forward, I'm going to have that. The Patriots at the Raiders.
Oh gosh.
I got the Raiders in this one. And I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of like 17-12 or some bullshit like that. Like but give me the Raiders.
The last time these two teams played, remember it was that wonky walk-off pick six for the Patriots. It was like that wild game in Vegas.
Yeah.
We got to remember too, it's a game of the Bill Belichick family coaching tree. Josh McDaniels, the old offensive coordinator, Jimmy G, the old backup quarterback for the Patriots. There's a lot of within family situations. Vegas defense held on against the Packers.
Yeah.
And if they can pressure and get Jordan Love into trouble, they should be able to definitely get Mac Jones into trouble.
Mac Jones is for sure playing this week?
Mac Jones for sure playing as of right now. So
dude, that's why I'm saying, I'm sorry to cut you off. That's
no,
why
Raiders.
That's why fucking the Patriots are a joke right now. Mac Jones keeps getting benched, but yet keeps getting opportunities to start. That's insane. That is insane to me, dude.
Oh, the old Billy Belichick over there trying to.
I'm just thinking they've had the doors blown off them.
Dude, the game's passed homeboy up, dude.
He needs to. Bill Belichick needs to go back to his old gray sweatshirt with the hood look and just look all pissed off in America.
The injury report for the Patriots is wild. I think you just got guys that just don't want to play.
I don't blame them.
They could have the number one pick. They could have Caleb Williams.
Oh, don't say that.
Don't say that, please.
Don't ever.
I know. I'm just. But
no, I think the Patriots are a 500 team. Maybe not. Maybe a little under 500. But I don't know how many times you can bench a guy and they keep trotting him out there. Like I can imagine that fan base is like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?" Like at this point, you might as well just start Bailey's happy.
I think. Are we a clean sweep for the Raiders?
Yeah.
All Raiders.
Yeah, that's okay. All right.
All Raiders.
It's just a trash organization right now.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. I got my Arizona Cardinals at the Los Angeles Rams.
Your Arizona Cardinals.
This is easy.
Come on.
My Cardinals are going down this week. And it ain't even gonna be close, dude. It's gonna be a drubbing. I got the Rams like 34-7.
Oh, a drumming.
Yeah.
It'll be.
I mean,
Arizona
dude, we got Cooper Kupp and fucking what's that homeboy's name? I can never remember.
Puka Nacua.
Whatever.
Akuna Matata.
Akuna Matata.
A wonderful phrase.
That's a
I'm
wonderful
telling you,
phrase if you're a Rams
sure
fan.
is. And you got, like I said, Cooper Kupp back. Matthew Stafford playing.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's
To me as a Niner fan, it's a good game no matter what because one divisional team's going down.
Yeah. And
the Niners have wins against both of them, so really it doesn't matter. But the Rams have more offensive weapons, even though they traded Van Jefferson to the Falcons today. It's the Kupp Nacua show.
Absolutely.
Give me the Rams.
Yep. Rams.
Next. All right. Game of the week, baby. Philadelphia. Actually, you know what? We're going to save that. We're going to go last on that one.
Okay.
Sunday night. Giants at Buffalo. This is easy. Even though they're banged up on the defensive side, the Giants are trash.
Wait, hold up. The Giants got another primetime game?
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
They're 4th in the first.
Well, you know, when you're good, you're good.
Oh my gosh.
Is Daniel Jones even playing?
I don't even
I don't know, but every
I'm
primetime game, they've got the doors blown off them. Every primetime game.
Buffalo by 30.
I'm telling you, yeah.
I was going to joke with you guys and say, I'm rooting for the team in red, white, and blue.
34-0. Calling it.
A shutout.
Shutout. I mean,
is
it really surprising? We're talking the Giants here.
Giants get at least 3. I'll spot them 3.
Being kind, very kind.
It's in Buffalo too. Oh, this game's gonna be
Oh
bad.
yeah.
No, it'll be
It's a
bad.
wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah, horrible.
Clean sweep
Horrible.
on the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Moving on to Monday night, we got the Cowboys at the Chargers.
Oof.
I think this is a get-right game for the Chargers. I think Dallas is a little wounded after that ass whooping against the 49ers. And I like the Chargers this one. I don't really have a lot to say, but I think it'll be close. I think it's something like 24-21, but give me LA, man.
Brandon, what you got?
Dallas is on the road. Ooh. Spread is 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a high octane game offensively. Because the Chargers
lost Mike Williams too. They lost Mike Williams.
Yeah, they're using Palmer more, and then according to today, there's a 99.9% chance Austin Eckler is back. So he's probably going to be playing, which adds a depth to their offense that they've been missing. Because Joshua Kelly and Spiller have been horrible in the running game for the Chargers. It's been inept.
Yep.
So I think
I
it'll be.
have no idea who to pick in this game.
I'm going to go Chargers. It's a home game Monday night. Dallas lost some key defensive players and one of their best offensive linemen who's questionable. Chargers defense, not great. So that's why I think it'll be an offensive shootout. I think it'll be a get-right game for the Chargers. Herbert's thumb is injured, but it's on his non-throwing hand, so it shouldn't be a factor. Prescott plays better because the Chargers defense isn't as good as the Niners, clearly.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I got Chargers in this game with Eckler back. If Eckler ends up not coming back, it may swing, but I won't switch my pick. I think as a Niner fan, I think it's illegal for me to pick the Cowboys unless it's in a 99.9% win situation. So I got love for the Chargers. So go Chargers. I love Herbert. Go do it.
So what's funny is the Chargers are 7th in scoring. Dallas is 8th. The Chargers are 31st in defense or yards allowed.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I feel Brandon might go contrarian on this. There's something in my gut that says he goes Dallas.
Dak at least get his 350. Probably throw some picks though. I think he is.
Yeah. Herbert on prime time.
He's
good. Pretty good.
He's good on primetime.
He shines, and he's always guaranteed for 250 plus yards and a couple of touchdowns. He'll run a little bit. Keenan Allen's healthy.
I hate this.
He's the opposite Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
This is going to be a shootout game.
Yeah. Hey, better than the last 3 Monday Night Football games combined.
Give me Dallas.
Ooh.
My gut said I thought it would be that way for Brandon.
All right, so we got Dominic and myself with the Chargers and Brandon with the Dallas Cowboys.
The standings are going to shake up this week. I know we haven't gotten to the Jets,
the
but
Lone Ranger.
It's interesting. I was hoping for something interesting. We needed something interesting this week.
Need some parity, right? Need some parity.
Absolutely, always need some parity.
I'm all for it. That's why I'm willing. I'm willing.
Game of the week, baby. The Philadelphia Eagles coming to town to play mine and Brandon's New York Jets.
Boys, you take the floor first.
I got Philly.
Why you say it like that?
Because I'm shameful, man. I'm shameful. We just won a game, and now I'm picking us to lose. But it's because it's the stigma, man. We've never beaten these fucks, man. Ever. And every time I think it's the year, oh, you know what? This is the year, man. We're finally going to beat them. And it was like the same thing with Pittsburgh for many years. Oh, this is the year we're finally beating Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. No. And I just don't feel it changing this week, man. I don't, if we lose, it's not going to be the end of the world. But I'm just going to, dude, I'm going to go with it. If we win, hell yeah. But I'm going to at least try to save my first place standings here somewhat in some capacity, if I can try at least. And I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think I think it'll be a lot closer than a lot of people think. I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I don't think Philadelphia's going to throw a bunch on us. I just think the difference maker is going to be Jalen Hurts and fucking running that ball down there at the goal line, dude. Oh, like he's unstoppable, dude.
The brotherly shove.
Yeah, it's unstoppable.
Which was made famous by USC Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush.
You know, if I was a running back, I'd never want to go to Philadelphia. Like, fuck that place. Ain't getting no opportunities. Can't even score no touchdowns.
Nope.
But no, give me Philadelphia. Shorts. I'm going to say 24-14 Philadelphia.
So, history aside, Philly Jets history aside, Randy, you know this.
Uh-oh.
This is one of the games that the Jets win. Nobody expects it.
I mean, we almost beat the Chiefs.
There's always one game there's always one game a year about the Jets where nobody's just like all the odds are stacked against them, and all the Jets are like, let's go to a barbecue, during this game, and let's go to a movie. Let's go to a movie. And then you look on your phone, the Jets are up.
They are begging to be beat. They are begging to be beat with that defense. But
with that said,
I just know history's going to give me the big fuck you, Randy. I own you.
Like your beloved Bengals. Who they?
I love my Bengals.
All right, I'm not gonna. God, man, I'm gonna pick Philly.
Mm-hmm. I know
I'm gonna pick Philly, but I feel like this is one of those Jet games that throws us all off as fans.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'll be happy. It'll be a happy loss for me.
I mean, 3-3 going into the bye week. We all wanted that.
I feel this game could go along the lines of the way the Broncos game went, like that kind of score and that kind of situation. Okay. But I do have the Eagles in this game. I think Jalen Hurts and, the Eagles will continue to – they're begging to lose, but they get scrappy and win.
Yeah.
My big hope in this game is Sauce Gardner has a terrific game covering A.J. Brown. Because I have Devontae Smith in fantasy, and he's been sucking because they keep going to A.J. Brown, so I need a Devontae Smith week. So Sauce Gardner, lock down A.J. Brown.
Well, DJ Reed is back this week too, so
yeah, he is, baby. Yeah, he is.
Right,
he didn't play. He didn't play last week.
Okay, right. So but it'll be a good game. Hopefully, again, I hate saying this term, moral victories, but do the right things against the Eagles, please. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't get off to a slow start. You'll have a chance. But the Eagles, I think, pull it out still.
All right. Now we just have two things left to go, and then we'll get Brandon off here real quick. Monday night. Dominic, you gave me 51 points.
Yes, I did.
I'm gonna go 45. Brandon, what do you got?
This is the
Cowboys Chargers.
Ooh. What was your score, Dom?
51. I said 27-24. I think it's going to be bigger, but I've been sucking at these tie breaks.
Bigger, man. I'm thinking 30. Yeah, I'm thinking this is a 34-31 type game.
Wow.
Okay.
So what's that, 60?
65? Huh?
64. Oh, yeah, 65?
65.
Wow,
yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Man, you guys left me in the dust with them numbers. I'm over here with 45. You got 51. You got 60.
Well, the Cowboys secondary is banged up.
Yeah, that's true.
I was thinking 60-point range, but I'm like, you know what? The points have been awful to me, so let me underdo it instead of overdoing it like I've been. And watch, history will bite me in the ass.
Yeah.
So Brandon will probably win. Regardless of the record, he'll probably take the tiebreaker once again. That's where he thrives.
All right, real quick, and this is where we're going to end the show. Just a couple of quick questions, just 4 questions from the fans from Instagram, and I'll give you I'll let you guys answer, and then I'll give my 2 cents real quick, but we won't spend a whole lot of time because they're just real quick. First question is from Squaley215, and I don't know if it's a girl. I'm just going to say they asked, what's our biggest need at this moment, and is Zach Wilson really the answer? Me, as far as Zach Wilson being the answer, he's going to have to be the answer this year. As far as what we really need, I've said it earlier in the show, offensive line. Brandon?
I concur. Yeah.
Go ahead, Dom. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry, Dom. Go ahead.
No. Straightforward, simple as that. I concur.
Okay.
Well, I feel as though, yeah, we already know they're riding with Zach this season. That much is true. So I don't know in what context, they're asking, is Zach the answer? Is he the answer at
I think they mean is
backup?
he, like going forward even after Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think so either.
No. I haven't seen enough yet from him. But as far as the biggest need right now, it's consistency. That's what it is. Just consistently across the board. Consistency across the board. Positive consistency is what I think the Jets sorely need.
Yep, absolutely. All right, moving on to the next one. This is from SSO Cats 2012. This is my friend Sonia. She's an Angels fan and a Nationals fan.
Hi, Sonia.
Yeah, she's such a sweetheart. I love her to death. She asks, "Why do you all think the Jets have given up so many points in the first half? Any theories or thoughts?" Honestly,
we kind of answered it.
Yeah,
just
I
the
think
inconsistency.
Inconsistencies. I think
plain scared.
Yeah,
poor
plain
game
scared.
Poor
game
planning.
planning. Absolutely. Like it's. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, and I think we're all on the same page there. It's just, you just call a better game. Come out, swinging. Come out pissed off.
Yeah.
Just I've said it. I've said this a couple of times on the show. Establish your dominance early. Punch them in the mouth and knock them the hell out early, and then they ain't gonna want none.
Watch them bleed out.
Absolutely. All right, the third question. We got one more after this. This comes from J Money 25 times. He asked, McCole Hardman probably getting traded. I don't know if
he goes back to the Chiefs.
I don't know if anybody's gonna be willing to give up a pick for him.
The Chiefs.
I mean, maybe, but I mean, I don't understand why you can't get this guy involved. I thought we brought this guy in to run like jet sweeps and switch it up on stuff.
The word is he struggled in camp. Just grasping the offense. I don't know if it's just that he's used to Andy Reid's offense or whatever, and he's had about quite a few drops in the offseason too. So
it just sounds like he's in the doghouse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So maybe he's just kind of like. I don't know. It's one of the weirdest situations because you think you could use a guy like that on your offense, an offense that's struggling, that's lacking creativity. Mm-hmm. You think you could use a Swiss Army knife guy like that,
right?
That you could use, but he's done something or is not doing something, and that's the reason why they feel like they can't use him.
He's not coming in unless there's an injury somewhere.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. And especially with the emergence of Xavier Gibson.
Yeah, and he got Cobb's taking his minutes too. So
I
mean,
time.
Yeah.
All right. So our final question, and this is a bit of a silly one. I know he meant it to be silly, and I'm gonna give him one of these. And this comes from, and I know Dominic knows this comes from Rob. He was on the Halo
good old Rob
show last night. Yeah. Big time Angel fans, just like Dominic and myself. Again, silly question. I know he's just rubbing it in the face again. What week must Aaron Rodgers come back in order to give the Jets a shot at the playoffs? Well, Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he'll come back. I think if he does come back, we're talking maybe late December, January, maybe for the playoffs if we make it. But I think
a torn Achilles in under 6 months.
Hey, it's been
Cam Akers did it.
And he's not the only one. I can't think of names, but I've heard where people have mentioned a couple of people.
But here's my thing. Let's say Zach gets us to a point where we are wild card.
Okay.
And let's say Aaron Rodgers is ready to come back. What is more important at this juncture? Are you trying to save Zach's confidence you imagine Zach, getting the team, doing the best that he can, taking all the punches he gets from the media and fans, and he gets this team wild card eligible, and they sit him for Aaron Rodgers? That would destroy his confidence.
I don't know. I got to think it's in the back of his mind right now.
Huh?
I mean, it's no secret that it's all over the media. I got to think that's in the back of his mind right now because it's no secret right now that, I mean,
I don't know,
the
man.
way people are talking, the way Aaron's talking, it sounds like he wants to come back this year.
I know, man. I'm
He's
just
shooting
like
for it at least.
But that's because we were winning. We weren't winning games.
Desperation mode.
Yeah, desperation mode. We're 2-3.
Mm-hmm.
What if that flips around, as Dom mentioned? We're at 9 wins. You just push that aside and say, all right, man. All right, Aaron, come on in, man.
Hey,
like, I don't even know if Aaron would do that to the kid.
The Niners had the same situation last year when Brock Purdy came in, and they're like, well, Garoppolo may be ready for the playoffs, but he wasn't. But that conversation started right on the onset of Brock winning 3 games in a row. Jimmy G was ahead of the curve with the high ankle sprain. Those questions and the momentum questions start to come up. Yeah. I think Aaron Rodgers, it becomes more of a potential reality if the Jets win and by week 14 and beyond, those final 4 games of the year. If it's like you win 2 of 4 and you're in, and like a guaranteed in, and you can semi-control your own fate,
But you know what the difference? You know what the difference is, Dom, between that situation with Purdy and is that you aren't in New York media.
Oh,
could you imagine the storylines that would come out if that were to be a reality in New York?
Oh, psychotic.
It would be bananas.
You do make a good point, Brandon, about would Aaron Rodgers even do that to the kid?
And I just don't know if he would.
Thinking, but now I'm thinking, like, he loves Zach. Like, don't get it twisted.
He
does. They are very close.
Yeah,
they are very close.
He said it again today. I love the kid. Yeah. He called him a young stud. Is what
I honestly don't think he would. I think Aaron Rodgers would say, "Hey, let the kid have his thing, and if all else fails,
it's not
I'm your backup."
Yeah, it's not one of those situations. I don't think Aaron Rodgers comes off the injured list, off the IR, and is the backup.
I kind of got faith in the guy. Like when he says something, like you almost gotta believe him when he says it.
I think the whole conversation is about maybe 4 or 5 weeks too early. I think in 4 or 5 weeks after this stretch of, the games against the Giants, the Chargers, these winnable games, to see where they're at. When you get to the 2 Dolphins games within 3 weeks, and I think Buffalo's in there somewhere, that little period of time, if this becomes a better conversation, he's on Pat McAfee every week, so you're going to get a health update every week.
Which I got to watch. I haven't watched today's episode yet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good, man.
It was funny, especially when J.K. Dobbins breaks into the interview. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think it's a situation where we're maybe 4 or 5 weeks from this being an actual legit, oh shit conversation.
Right.
I think it's still too early because Achilles are Achilles. But
the media is waiting for it. They are waiting for it, boy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Poor Zach, man. That kid, man, I tell you, at times I do feel really bad for him.
Yep.
I think the New York media would go down harder on Zach Wilson if this came about than they went on Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton this year with the Yankee struggles.
That's fair.
Potential.
Yeah,
I think they're going to go harder.
Because everybody's blaming Cashman.
That too. I'm
a Yankee fan, so I could talk all night about that. But I'd rather not.
We ain't talking no damn Yankees.
Zach Wilson would take more heat than everybody on the Yankees combined.
For sure.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. No doubt. Yep.
So
cool.
I think we all good.
I think we aired out everything. It was happy. It was a lighter podcast.
I loved it. Yeah, no, I love today's show. I think every week we continue to get better, and again, thank you guys for watching us here on the One Jets pod. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as hit that bell notification so you are alerted every time we drop some content. You can also check us out on Spotify, Amazon Music, Oh God. Oh, I'm missing one. iHeartRadio and Google Podcasts. Make
There
sure
you
you like and subscribe as well as follow us on those and give us a 5-star. I mean, it greatly appreciates every time you guys do that. It messes with the algorithm. It puts us out there, it puts more eyeballs on us, and we very much appreciate that. So, on behalf of my good friend Brandon Batts, my good brother Dominic Lorenz, I'm Randy Oz. This is the One Jets Pod. We'll see you down the road. Go Jets.
Jets, 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 Jets!
Yeah, Randy and I don't know how to feel. Yeah, we don't know that feeling.
Hey, this is gonna be this is the first podcast that both our teams won in the same week.
Oh,
that's
it's beautiful.
Right.
So we get to be extra happy this week.
Hell yeah, we do. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Randy with the One Jets Pod, and let's redo that.
We are so hyped on excitement that Randy.
Oh, dude.
How do I
Take
ask
two.
when we win?
Take two.
Take two.
Take two.
All right, here we go.